And welcome to another exciting edition where the fun never stops. We are on this 75 Schwinn Suburban in chestnut color. 3 years only on that, 74, 75, and 76. Yeah, we're just going to break it all down because it's so dry and crunchy, you know. Oops, that's the kickstand. Oops. Yeah, it's just too crunchy. That's dry. Everything's dry. The kickstand's dry. Forks are dry. Fork bearings are way dry. I doubt we even get that seat post out. I just threw this wheel on here so I could park it off the stand. I don't have the luxury of having a bike on the stand when I'm working on frames and welding tables. This has to be standing on its own. But once I get it down to just the frame, I think I can push it back and leave it on there if wheels aren't dangling out in space. Anyway, yeah, let's do some work. It's after dinner. I got a little energy. I thought I'd come out here and start tearing this down. It's just got to be torn all the way down. I mean, fender's got to come off if we're going to straighten them. The back fender does have a crunch. They always do with these reflectors. With this style reflector, they're always crunched. You can see it kind of dip down a little bit right there. Like it's arced and then it's like more of an arc. Yeah, someone backed that reflector into something. It just happens. Yeah, it would happen on another year with the smaller round reflector. It would still happen, but these are really prone. When you back into something, this big reflector with the two holes pushes the fender in. That's the correct fastener. We're going to save that. I got a little plastic bag. We're going to ditch these pads. Those are getting thrown away. I might save the nuts. Anyway, everything's coming off. The brakes, fenders. That's the wrong bolt. That washer, that's wrong. I guess they were spacing it out for the other wheel. Anyway, we'll save that too. We'll save the other fastener there. Everything's coming off. So let's get to it, folks. Time is of the essence. This bike has to be torn down because everything's dry. And you know what? I want to see the threads on this fork. I want to look at the fork tube, make sure it's not freeze damaged, make sure the threads are good. I just want to look at it. I've never dealt with this bike before. This could have been sitting out in the rain. It could have froze the fork tube. I want to get this out, make sure that's not frozen. I want to take the fenders out because I'm going to have to straighten it and change the stays probably. Chain guard has to come off because we have to take the cranks off. And if I can find my kickstand tool, I don't know if I can do it tonight. But this is dry too. This is just like, ugh. Yeah, that's dry. There's no grease on this thing anywhere. Anyway, let's get to work and stop jabber-jawing, man. Come on now. Anyway, story of my life. The dry Schwinn. Alright, first things first, I guess we'll take the bars back off. And I know I just put them on, but we have to grease these bearings. So we'll take these back off. And we'll just leave this as a unit for now over here. And let's take this front wheel off real quick like. Hope everyone's doing well. This is what I do. This is my fun time. Looking over this bike. This would be like the typical bike you'd find at a flea market for like 40 or 50 bucks. And the people would swear up and down that it runs and everything's fine, Like it probably would run a little bit, but once you got out on the road, you'd be ruining parts by riding it with no grease. They swear up and down, oh yeah, my uncle repacked that. No, this is all dry. That's dry as a bone. Hear that? Oh yeah, I repacked it, it's fine. Nope, it's not. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying everybody at the flea market is, ripping you off, but buyer beware. Yeah, this is a typical bike you'd find for 40 or 50 bucks. And people in the know that work on bikes would probably say,
look, I'll give you 25 bucks for it. It needs a lot of work. And they would take the money. Whoever had this would take the money. They'd take the 25 bucks. Okay, we'll put that down there. Let's take this brake off real quick. And the reason I'm taking the brake off is because the forks are coming out, and I want to look at the threads of the forks and make sure that fork tube is not ballooned from freeze damage. And you know, when I have the brake off, I will probably tear it down and re-grease that too. There's grease that goes in between here. Clean it, re-grease it, make sure the spring is good. And I can see a bent part already, and I'll show it to you. I should have my ratcheting 10. I can't find it. Let's look for the ratcheting 10. I know, you guys love it. Oh, here it is. Good. Ratcheting 10. Really nice to have. It's good if you put it on the right way, too. There we go. And this part of this front brake is bent. And I probably will replace that, too. In fact, you know what I'll do? You know I always do anyway. I'll probably try to convert this to center pull, but I don't think I have the room for the bracket. I don't think there's room. I probably have to leave it side pull. Okay, there's some spider webs in there. Anyway, this part is bent. You can see it right there. That's common. Someone let the bike get tipped over. You can see that arced out that way. And the spindle looks good. The attachment spindle. Yeah. Oh, I was missing the... there's another piece on the back. I think there's another piece like that that's missing. Anyway, let's take these pads off and throw them away. They are toast. Yeah, they're not even worth saving the bolts, actually. Yeah, these are all burned up, and they're not Schwinn, and I don't know what happened there. That's just indicative of how this bike was used. I mean, if somebody did put those on new, they rode the living daylights out of that bike. There's nothing left on that right there. So yeah, we're going to chuck that whole thing. The only thing I'm going to save off that pad is this little flat skinny washer. Those are nice to have. But the pad's toast. And the bolt's not even an acorn bolt, so boo-hoo on that. You got to be very selective about what you reuse. I know this rusty washer doesn't seem like a lot to you, but that's important later when we get some new pads. Because the new pads don't come with that. They come with a stupid little lock washer. Okay, so this brake, other than the bend, other than that part being bent, you can see somebody tried to, look at that little mark there. Looks like somebody tried to bend that back. Anyway, in the parts bin. In the Suburban box. Okay, so we're ready to take this fender off. I think we need an 8. And hopefully these aren't frozen. They look pretty rusty though. Oh, that's right. There's a 9 behind here. I forgot. An 8 and 9 on these. Yep, I forgot about that. That's a 3/8. That work? Probably not. Oh, that's close enough. So yeah, this is a 3-year only bike, believe it or not. Schwinn has Sierra Brown bikes. I think we're going to put all the bolts that I need in a little tortilla bag. Sometimes when you put things in bins and they fall over or something, if all the little stuff is in a little baggie, you can kind of save it for later. And if that bin gets knocked over because I have a wild hair or something, because I was dancing around the shop with great joy because I'm not working on a bent frame bike. Well, we don't know that yet. This one might be bent. We have not ridden this bike yet. Oh, look at that. I can't believe it. Look, there's the thing. Look. It was resting under there. Oh, maybe it was, okay. It wasn't missing. I just pulled the brake out and it was behind there and it fell on top of the fender. Yeah, it wasn't missing. I just didn't catch it when I pulled the brake out. Hey, it happens. You know, I can't catch everything. Sometimes I lose it. All right, so the fender's off. This one's not too bad. The stay is bent a little bit right here. And the stay is very rusty. And let's put this bolt in the bag. That goes on the brake. And these bolts go in here. And look on here. Here's a little cable guide piece. Look at that. I think that's the piece that goes on the cable. Yeah, check it out. I think that's a little plastic piece for the cable end. Little protector. I think. How did it get in there? Huh. No, it's just a piece of a twig. Huh. There's a piece of a twig or a bone or something. Okay, that's a new one on me. A piece of a chicken bone in a bike fender. Okay, that's new. Okay, so this is not going to clean up. I'm going to have to deal with that. So the fender's off, so I can deal with it. Let's take the fork off. I think we're going to leave the races in the frame and just try to clean them. Okay, bearings look serviceable. That's good. This race is a little loose. Yeah, that should be tighter. That's going to cause problems. That's a lot of wear on this bike. Look how shiny the nice paint was back in the day. That's a lot of wear. When that's loose like that, that should pound on. You shouldn't be able to just take it off with your hand. There's ways to deal with that. They're difficult to deal with, but you can either center peen all around here, or you can put tiny little tacks on here, or you could find a new fork, or you could glue it on. There's other ways. Yeah, you should not be able to just take that off. It should be pressed off. This has some wear on it. Definitely has some wear. In fact, that might even be cracked right there. Let's look. I'd rather it be cracked. If it's cracked, that means I just need a new race and it'll go on. That would actually be good. No, it's not cracked. It's just really worn. Great. Dry. Okay, it's not cracked. Darn, I was kind of hoping it was cracked. I was actually hoping it was cracked. Yeah, we're going to have to address that somehow. That will be another episode. Anyway, the fork won't be, great, but I think I can make it work. This looks okay. It's a little rough there, yeah. See, someone rode this on bad grease. That's what always happens. It's a little rough. I could put some actual cleaner on it and see, but I think we're okay. Okay, so that's all right. It's doable. I don't notice any giant freeze damage on this. Sometimes there's a big smash here, like an open gaping wound where water went in and then froze. It looks good. I don't know what that Mark 4E is. Never really seen that before. 4E. Huh. And a little half circle above it. I've never seen that on a Schwinn fork. Can you guys see that? 4E? Huh. Chime in if you know what kind of mark why that is there. I've never seen one on fork. I've never seen that on a Schwinn fork. Okay, and this doesn't have the chrome cap here. Yeah, this doesn't have the chrome cap. It's just a Suburban. It's not a Continental or anything special. Sometimes they have a little chrome cap that goes on here. You could probably find one and put it on there. But this did not have it, or somebody took it off. You never know what happened here. I mean, I'll look in the catalog. Maybe there was a chrome piece there. I'm not sure. Definitely some spiders living in there. Fork is good. Looks straight. You can sight down it and see it's not bent. There's no freeze damage. I don't know what that 4E thing is. Chime in if you know. The threads are good. We're good. This fork is definitely usable. Just needs to be cleaned up a little bit. One of these right here took a hit, a big hit. I don't know what happened there. It is broken and mangled. There's a little chip out of that. And we'll have to bend that back very gently so it doesn't snap off. Okay, it's not the end of the world. The fork is usable. And another way you can tell is you can kind of ring it on the ground. Oh yeah, that's good, baby. Rings true. All right, we're going to leave the emblem on. We're going to leave these fork races in. And we're going to the back here. I'm going to take this temporary wheel off and take the chain guard off and go from there. Yeah, hope everyone's doing good out there in Schwinn land. You know, if you don't have the opportunity to work on a really dry old Schwinn, you know, it's fun. You need to get one. Just go to your local flea market, and if somebody's got a Schwinn for $50, just offer them 30 and say I said it was okay. You can quote me on that. Faulkner Fixes All said you should just take the $30 for your Schwinn, dude. All right, we're just temporary wheel out of here. That's just so I can stand it up on the kickstand. And this bolt's a no-no. We're going to get rid of that one. Let's take this brake off while we're here. We're doing all right. We're making good grades. Good tool to have, a ratcheting 10. This is a really cheap one. It's not Schwinn quality or anything, but good tool to have. Really nice to have. Wow. Yeah, this brake has been on here quite a long time. Am I rubbing the fender? No, okay. Yeah, the sports tour went to a new home, and I'm working on a much cheaper bike that is not bent. How about that? On these pads, we're going to take these off, and we're going to save the flat washer and the acorn. We're going to save that little flat, and we're going to save that acorn. And we're going to chuck this really worn down piece of junk. Whee! Maybe next time I'll make it in the trash can. You buy new pads, and most of the time they come with these little snap washers. And you don't use the snap washer on a brake pad for a bike. That's not happening. If you do, it's probably going to fall off. All right, so let's get this brake off. Actually, we'll leave that on loosely while we undo. It's hard to get to one. There's one that's way in here that's kind of hard to get to. And you need an 8 and a 9, or a 3/8 and an 8 millimeter, or 9 and an 8. I don't know. We're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. That's what we do. A screwdriver. I forget what you need. You need something that I don't have in my hand. Oh, dear. Oh, that's going to be nasty. We might have to get the heat wrench on that. Oh, man. That is, wow. Ooh, that's a doozer. I don't know, folks. That is not going to cooperate, I don't think. The head of it is, let me get the light. Yeah, that might be heat wrench time. That's one of those, this is turning into a half-hour job, you know? That's one of those bolts where it's just like, wow. Man, it is so rusty. It's chewed up. I'm gonna have to hold this other side with vice grips, and let's wire brush that up a little bit. Man, that is really bad. Okay, well, It's one of those bolts that just turned into an hour instead of 10 minutes. You know? Oh man. We might have to put you on hold here for a second while I get the grinder out. Oh man, that's really rusty. Okay, well let's try to I'm gonna get a zip disc in there, probably not. I don't think vice grips are gonna catch the other side of that. Let's get some vice grips. Yep, one rusty bolt turned a 10-second job into 4 hours. Oh yeah. Okay, let's find the vice grips and see if we can clamp them in there. That's questionable. I don't know, folks. I don't think we're gonna get this in there. Let's put you over here. No, these are too big to go in there. Dang. Well, I've done it before and I'll do it again. I think I'm going to reach in with a zip disc and just barely try to see if I can even do this. It's going to be close. Yeah, I think with a brand new disc I can come in and just cut that a little bit. I think I'm going to put you on time lapse for this. It's just too crazy. Yeah. Okay, it's going to be 5 seconds for you and 5 minutes for me worrying that I'm going to cut the fender up. All right, see you in a minute. Second. Let me get this other light on. Let me get this off. It's ready to come off now. Yeah, it's one of those bolts that sometimes they just come right off, and on this bike, everything is so rusty and dry. Rusty and dry, both kinds. Okay, so let's get this bolt off. This is wrong. Oh, don't tell me. Don't tell me this is a cutoff too. Yeah, we nipped the fender a little. I don't think anybody's going to see it down there. Oh, great. They cross-threaded a metric. Oh, man. The hits just keep coming. The hits just keep coming, folks. Just when you thought it was safe to go out. Yeah, they cross-threaded some crazy, looks like some kind of fender bolt from some mountain bike or something. And of course, it's some kind of crazy metric. Maybe we got some here. Let's see. Oh, yeah, we got it. That will not be going in the box with the parts for Schwinn because it's not a Schwinn bolt. They probably had to do that because they were running the 7-speed and it was going to hit the chain if they used the right bolt. Okay, so this is almost ready to come off. We need a 7/16 wrench. Take this other side off. And you can see that was kind of a struggle. And I did kind of we did nip the fender a little bit. It already had a rust hole there too. So I'll show you that in just a moment. We are going to save this bolt because this is the correct Schwinn bolt. I'll show you what it looks like in just a moment. That is the correct and decent shape Schwinn fender bolt. We'll put it in the little plastic baggie of goodies. In it goes in the tortilla bag. Okay. Get rid of the zip disc out of my way so I don't cut myself. Yeah, that was fun. All right, we're ready to take this off now, and I'll show you the damage I did getting it off. I probably could have used the torch, but I didn't want to break it out. And there's already a big rust spot in this fender on the bottom. I don't think there's going to be a big issue about that. Okay, let's get this brake out of the way. This back brake is not bent. It's in good shape, although it needs a good oiling up and whatever. Okay, so off this goes. And this obviously is bent here. We're going to fix that. And these stays, the fender stays, are atrocious. There's a dent there. And there was a rust hole back here already. It's right here. Next to my zip disc hole. So I'm not going to fix that. I'm just going to put a washer there. We're okay. If I was selling this bike, I'd try to fix it. Or even get a better fender. Probably switch to chrome fenders. Anyway, that's the damage we just did. That's okay. We got the fender off. I can live with that. That's what washers are for. And let's take a look at the damage I did in here. You know, it's all about me making things damaged. That's what I do. And this, I don't think I'm going to repair this either. Now, if this was a bike I was going to sell, I would probably MIG weld over that and grind it or something, but I can live with that. I've done it before. I've done this many times. And you can either use a torch and heat it up, or you can just get in there with a zip disc. Or you could, as there's other ways too. Anyway, I'm okay with that. We'll just put some brown acrylic. Wifey will mix me up some brown acrylic. It's not through. And there's the rub mark where the wheel was rubbing when they were riding it and the wheel was untrue. See the spot on here. And it's hard to hold everything, but the spot right here. Not much damage, just on the paint. I think we're okay. I can live with that. Yep, I can live with that, and I can live with this. There's already a big giant rust hole in here already. And yeah, we'll just put a washer on that. It's okay, trust me, it's okay. Don't tell anybody that I do subpar work. Don't tell anybody. Okay, yeah, this is my bike. I can do what I want. All right, so let's take this chain guard off real quick, like. And there's the washer that would be on the fender, but we cut into it a little bit. Oh, we could probably still reuse that. Maybe not. It has been slightly compromised. All right, let's take this off. Oh, good. That just came off. That's good. That's nice. And like I said earlier, I think this is a Presta valve adapter they put on here. Not adapter, but it goes on a Presta valve to keep it in the rim. We don't really need that where we're going. And that's the special long chain guard bolt that it lets you put this on as well. Now these are important pieces and we will be using them. So they are going in the taco tortilla bag. In we go. All right, let's get this other bolt off and we'll take the chain guard off and kick it to the side for safekeeping. And everything is well. Let's put you back here under the light. Yeah, sometimes, you know, there's that one bolt that just, it should be 5 seconds, but it's not. It just happens that way. I think they have this on the wrong way. Huh. This might be in the wrong way. Someone's either been in here or I thought the, you know what, I'll ask my AZ Sting guy.
Hey, Mr. Vinegar, is this in wrong? Let's get you in here. The bolt is facing out. Shouldn't the bolt be on the other side? Okay, AZ Sting, you tell me. You know, you're the Stingray guru. You would know. I always thought the flathead part went in and this bolt was on the other side because the flathead bolt has a built-in serrated washer on it. Okay, so that's your chime in, buddy. I know you know. You're probably screaming at the screen right now. The bolt goes in! A Stingray guy will know. And it's frozen. That's just, you know, everything I touch on this bike is frozen. Everything I touch on this bike is frozen or has to be zip disced off. I'm kind of getting tired of it. Alright, we'll fix this. Alright, we got this. We got this. Don't drop it. There we go. Okay. Alright, so yeah, let's take this off for safekeeping. In good shape. Oh no, it's not built in. I thought it was built in. Anyway, I thought it went in that way through the frame, chain guard, and the bolt was on the back. I could be wrong. Tell me, oh guru, AZ Sting, Stingray dude. You gotta let me know. I thought Schwinn put it in flathead that way. Okay, quit the jabbering and put it in the tortilla bag. When you eat a bunch of tortillas like me, when all you can afford is rice, beans, and tortillas because you spent all your money on Schwinn's, you know, these parts bags come in handy. Okay, there's a fair amount of, there's some rust down in here that looks a little concerning. Let's get the light. Maybe freeze damage or just overall pitted areas. Looks a little concerning. Yeah, I think we're okay. That's just chain slap probably from someone trying to convert it into a 7-speed when they shouldn't have. I think we're all right. There's the rub from the wheel being out of true, and there's a little spot where I just zipped into it with the zip disc because I'm not that smart. Okay, so everything else looks okay. I don't see freeze damage down in there. All right, let's take these cranks out. We'll try to get this post out, and we're going to call it a night. Enough of the witty humor about beans and tortillas and tortilla bags. You guys are probably really tired of that. Okay, let's see about this seat real quick. I know the seat will come off, but the trick is to leave the seat on for a second, undo this bolt, which is probably in the wrong way too. I'm not sure about that. Oh boy, this is a nice one. Oh yeah, I can feel this one. Dude, I think we're gonna work that one back and forth. Yeah, eat some more tortillas and rice, you'll be fine. Let's spray that with something. Holy moly. Everything I touch on this bike is cursed. Holy cow. Not that this is going to do anything except blow on the camera. Okay, well, I got it on the frame. That's nice. All right. Wow, that was fun. Oh, did you hear it? That was my elbow. All right. Whoa, look at that. It's loose. Oh, yes. It's not cursed. All right. Well, there's some gunmetal to clean up. It's not too bad. I think I'm just going to leave this as a unit and throw it in the bin here. Okay, let's get the parts bag out. This is another one of those important parts. Wow, that really gave me some trouble. I wonder if that's in the wrong way as well.
No, I think that's right. I think the bolt on that does go this side. And just the 1S on this, it's not Alfred and Schwinn. It's just regular Schwinn. You know, can't have everything. All right, goes in the tortilla bag. That's important. I think we're done with the tortilla bag for now. All right, let's get 2 screwdrivers and take this off. We don't want to chip the immaculate finish. You don't want to chip it. You guys there? Where would you be? It's not acting right. There we go. A few spiders in there. We're okay. The finish isn't too bad on that. Someone may have sprayed that silver. Okay, that looks good. This is a non-damaged part of the bike, and we're going to take the cranks off right now. And we'll probably have to pound those cones out. Very good chance those cones are not going to be reused again. I just know the sound. And this is the sound of cones that are not going to be reused again. Now listen up, here we go. Yeah, and that gear, this gear is probably not going to be used again either. It's got some problems. Yeah, wow. Why did I get rid of that other bike I was working on? It was so nice. All right, let's take these out. We can't mess around. Now, hopefully, this bike has fought me all the way on everything. And I have a bad feeling about this. Get some WD on there. I think I did. Can you guys see? I think I got WD on the lens. All right, let's pop this stand down. And we're going to tighten this towards me. Let's be smart and spray something on there first, away from the camera lens. Yeah, everything's been fighting me, so let's just make sure that's happy. I doubt that's going to do anything. Okay, here goes nothing. Oh, yeah, piece of cake, baby. Piece of cake. That was much easier than anything else on this bike. Oh, yeah, okay. All right. Hopefully the adjuster is nice as well. So now we're pretending to tighten it because it's left-hand thread. There's a little washer. Let's check the peg on that washer. Yes, that washer is reusable. I'll flat file it up a little bit. It does have a very nasty burr there, but that little square part is still good. You can see where the bolt was resting against it for like billions of years. Interesting. Okay, well, since 1975. All right, so this adjuster, I'll be surprised if we don't have to grab it with a pair of channel locks or something. We did spray something in there, so let's see what's going on here. And there is a tool for this, and this is not it. Oh, look at that. Oh, we got lucky. Oh, we got lucky. We got real lucky. Okay. You know what? Let's move these welding gloves out of the way. I kind of have some issues about that. When you get WD-40 on your welding gloves, it can be really fun. It's kind of a fun thing. You're welding and your gloves catch on fire. All right, I'm just getting the extra stuff up here so I can kind of spin it with my hand without getting too gooey. I think we're pretty good on this part. Now we're going to probably soak these in vinegar or something tomorrow. Something very volatile. I might do a vinegar soak, but not overnight. I've learned my lesson. Don't soak things overnight in vinegar. Okay, I think we got a little battery left. I should be able to get these cones out
They got to come out. There's no way these are good. I just know. There's no way it's that loud and they're good. And these should be stamped 75 or 74 maybe, if they're kicking around the factory. You know, they should be stamped the correct date.
Let's see what they're stamped. Oh, those bearings are terrible. Okay. Let's see. Schwinn 374. Huh. Yep, 3 of 74. Okay, so this is 75 bike. These were forged in 74 and they sat around the factory for a few months. Hey, that's normal. 3 of 74. That race is questionable. That one's kind of shiny. We'll have to look at that very carefully once I soak it. These bearings are probably toast. Let's look at this adjuster real quick. That's not bad. A little blip there. This might be usable. I don't think the cones are reusable. Let's spray something in there before we pound them out. You know what? We know we're going to pound them out, dude.
Oh yeah, they are toast. They're pretty shiny and rough in there. I'm just not comfortable with leaving those in without soaking them and really looking at them. I think I'm going to pound them out. Yeah, let's get something to pound them out. Yep. Not comfy. Let's get something round and pound. Heck, I don't care what it is. It could be square. Let's shove it in there and pound them out. All right, this one's going to go rolling across the shop, and it's going to make a beautiful sound. That's good. Okay, this one the same thing. I'll probably pound it out, and it'll go under that table, and I'll spend an hour looking for it. But you saw it here first. The things I do for content for you. Hey, it didn't go under the counter. Okay, good. All right, so let's spray this one down. Let's spray them both down and take a look at them, because this is really kind of the sticking point. Am I finding new hard bearings for this? Am I finding new stuff? Let's spray these down a little bit and take a look. But I can definitely tell you that if I hadn't done all this, we'd have an issue, you know. Let's see if I can not spray the camera again. All right. WD, it cleans and protects. It doesn't do anything except clean. It doesn't protect nothing. All right, so let's go here. We put the glorified diesel fuel on it. We're going to have to soak these in some vinegar, I think. But not overnight. Yeah, these might be usable. That one's not. Darn. I don't think these are usable. I'll show you why. There's a little blippy spot on each of them, I think. Yeah. Oh man. These are not usable. Let me get you in here with a pointer or something. Well, you could, but it's gonna be noisy. Okay, so right there is a rust brindle. Right there. There's a rust mark here. And that's about it for this one. I could chuck these in the lathe and try to spin that out. Yeah, there's a rust brindle there. And the same here. I guess water collected in there. Not as bad as that one. There's another brindle here. That's where a bearing sat a long time, or somebody pounded it with a hammer, or there's another one here. Let's steel these up a little bit.
let's do some cursory cleaning here and see how bad is bad. Yeah, that's the bad one on that one. I don't know if you can see that. It's a little brindle mark. That's questionable. And this one is even worse. Yeah, that one's really bad. Must have sat with some water in it or some moisture. These were probably on the bottom of the bike. I don't know if you can see that or not. Big rust spot right there. This is a way I could chuck it up in the lathe and really spin it out a little bit with some 600 grit. I try not to do crazy stuff like that. These are questionable. I don't know if I'm going to use them. While we're at it, let's look at the adjuster. Doing a little hard cleaning here for you. Get the vinegar. Yeah, let's look at this. Now they make these harder than the bearing, really. I think they do. Yeah, this is usable. There's a little tiny brindle here, though. Yeah, the little one forming there. Nope, they're not usable. I mean, I could, but this is for me. You know, this is my bike. So I probably will replace them. Yeah. Actually, I wouldn't sell the bike. I would replace these anyway if I was going to sell it. Yeah, they're toast. I'll find some better ones. Okay, I can't find my kickstand tool, or we'd take that out. But we know the story there. It's rusted. It's nasty. Probably have to get the torch out to make it move. You know how it is. You know the drill. Not a bad bike. The frame looks good. We'll have to clean that up in there a little bit and find some new cones. Those cones are just beyond what I want to deal with. That rust brindle part. I just don't think I'm going to get that out. And spinning in the lathe, you change the contour of it a little bit, and you're taking metal away. And would that make noise? I don't know. Maybe. And we'll have to... Hey, Fred, you got any cones? Hey, okay, guys. I'm getting tired. We did something tonight. We did a little bit. Let's push it back in the corner. And we can't put wheels on it anymore, obviously, so it's got to stay on this thing. And it's totally in my way, and I have to make frames tomorrow. Yeah, I got to use that big machine over there. So yeah, all this has to be cleaned up. I think I'll do it in the morning and be bummed about it. But no, we're always happy here. Hey, think good thoughts. And this is a 24-inch 1975 Chestnut Suburban, and we're going to make a nice little runner out of it. I don't think I'm going to go the off-road tire thing. I'm just going to get some gum walls or some black walls, and we're just going to make it nice and make it a runner, and probably clean up the frame a little bit. I'm not going to get much out of this. It should be nice. Yep, I'll find some cones. Our Fred's going to bring them over. He'll just drive over tomorrow and drop them off here. Okay, hey, AZ Sting. AZ Sting guy, tell me which way that bolt goes. Does the flathead part go through? Or does the flathead part go through this way? I always thought the flathead part went through, and the nut was on the back, holding the chain guard. But I've been wrong before. Won't be the first time. Okay, peace out, guys, and this is the latest project. And thanks for tuning in. And look how far we did in, an hour and a half or however long. We're doing great. See you. Okay, peace out. Think good thoughts.